An AI model may have helped uncover a WordPress attack path that starts before login and ends with a full site takeover. Welcome to the Automated Daily Hacker News Edition, the podcast created by generative AI. Today is July 20th, 2026. I'm Trend Teller. In this episode, a major security claim around WordPress, a bowling alley rebuilt with cheap embedded hardware, a fight over science funding, Europe's cloud sovereignty push, and a few smart detours into developer tooling, math, and cultural oddities. This episode is brought to you by CrispCall. CrispCall provides agentic cloud telephony for modern businesses. Find the link in the episode notes. First up, security. A Searchlight cyber researcher says a GPT 5.6 Sol Ultra model helped identify a WordPress vulnerability chain that reportedly begins with a pre-auth SQL injection in the batch API and could be escalated all the way to administrator control and remote code execution. If that claim holds up, it matters for a simple reason. WordPress powers a huge share of the web, so a bug that works before login could become an internet-scale problem very quickly. The second takeaway is the AI angle. This is less about AI replacing researchers and more about AI getting better at linking small flaws into a dangerous whole. Staying with practical engineering, one Hacker News thread focused on a rural Midwest bowling center owner who replaced a proprietary scoring and control system quoted at around $120,000 with roughly $1,600 in ESP32-based hardware. What made the story resonate is that it is not really about bowling. It is about how many niche industries are still trapped in expensive, aging vendor ecosystems, even when modern microcontrollers can handle a lot of the job. The trade-off, of course, is support and reliability. Cheap hardware can rescue a business, but it also means the owner becomes part engineer, part IT department. On science policy, a proposed rewrite of U.S. federal grantmaking rules is drawing unusually broad concern because it could give political appointees much more influence over approving, denying, or canceling research funding. Critics argue that would weaken one of the key safeguards in American science, some distance between political power and merit-based research decisions. Why that matters goes far beyond academia. If funding starts tracking ideology more closely than evidence, the damage eventually shows up in medicine, national security, and economic competitiveness. In Europe, Airbus is moving a large set of applications toward French cloud provider Scaleway, starting with critical systems. And the bigger story here is digital sovereignty. This looks less like branding and more like risk management. Airbus appears to be treating dependence on American cloud platforms as a strategic vulnerability for sensitive business operations. If other large firms start thinking the same way, Europe could end up building stronger local alternatives, not just in cloud hosting, but in business software and AI infrastructure too. In developer tools, Simon Willison found strong evidence that Claude Code is already shipping with the Rust-based version of Bun inside the binary. He spotted Bun version strings and embedded Rust source paths, which points to the rewrite being used in production rather than just in test builds. That may sound like an inside baseball detail, but it is actually a meaningful signal. When a major user-facing product can swap in a new runtime quietly and users barely notice, that is often the clearest sign the rewrite is mature enough to matter. On the math side, one popular explainer made the Riemann zeta function feel unusually approachable by focusing on why it matters for prime numbers. The central idea is that zeta creates a bridge between the distribution of primes and the behavior of a complex function, especially the location of its zeros. That connection is why the Riemann hypothesis still gets so much attention. Better control over those zeros means better estimates for where primes show up, which is one of the classic problems in mathematics. And finally, a lighter one. The Moist Toilette Online Museum. Yes, it is exactly what it sounds like. A collection of branded wet wipes and related paper goods, including airline, restaurant, medical, and pop culture examples. It is funny on first glance, but it also preserves a kind of everyday design history that usually gets thrown away without a second thought. Small archives like this can tell surprisingly rich stories about travel, branding, hygiene, and consumer culture. Thanks to our sponsor, Prezi. Prezi helps you create stunning AI-powered presentations in minutes. Find the link in the episode notes. That's it for today's edition. If you want to dig into any of these stories, links to all stories can be found in the episode notes. I'm Trend Teller, and this was the Automated Daily Hacker News Edition.